Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of the colleagues today.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Nerdarchy's Dave.
And before we get into the topic, the newsletter. If you guys haven't signed up for it, what are you waiting for? Go to the description down below, click the link, put your name and email in. It's a great way to get cool information, tips that we're only going to give out that way, as well as that's your way to find out how to game with Nerdarchy. So, on to the topic at hand. Lycanthropy, werecreatures. How do you handle it in your game? Every edition I've played thoroughly. You know, second, third, and fifth. We played some fourth, but I don't recall off the top hand how it was dealt with there. But every edition did it differently. Second edition is like, oh, you're a werecreature, you're an NPC. Third edition is, oh, here's stats, here's your ECL, have fun. Fifth edition, it's like, oh, there's a little bit of stat adjustment. Have fun. It's nowhere near.
It's a mystery.
It's nowhere near as powerful as it used to be, but the bounded accuracy of fifth edition really just, well, we're gonna dial this back here. We're not gonna add 12 to this stat and 6 to that stat. And
no, your stat becomes X.
Your stat's like, oh, you're a werebear. You have a strength of 19. Have fun.
You're a half-orc, you turn into a wererat, you get weaker. I don't think it actually works that way.
It doesn't bring anything down.
So the first time I had a character turned into a lycanthrope, werewolf. We were fighting a werewolf, and back then it was like percentages that you get infected. I didn't know. Well, I then got, it was actually in the Temple of Elemental Evil, I believe, that this happened. And we're down in the dungeon, we barely are able to beat the werewolf, and the next thing that happens is, the very next encounter we get stomped by like goblins. And
so is this where you learned to throw goblins at people with craziness?
It may have been my inspiration, but so my character actually dies. He gets killed, but then he gets back up as a werewolf and starts shredding goblins. So that was my first experience with lycanthropy and actually having my character become lycanthrope. Soon after that battle, we actually encounter another NPC party and are like, "Hey, let us help you." Cause wounds and then murders me. Anyway, DMing was a little bit different back then. Look, we saved you. Now your character's really cool werewolf. Oh, and by the way, now I murder you. So let me just make you like that character a little bit more first.
It's funny.
Well, you're a monster. They've got to slay you.
So
I think they were just an evil party.
Oh, all right. On top of that.
So they got to slay you.
Yeah.
So I've never had a character actually go through the change in game, but I've played werecreatures, because third edition definitely gave the rules for it and allowed it. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll play a werecreature. That's sounds like fun. So the idea is how would we handle it in fifth edition, right?
Yeah. First of all, it's a detriment, right? Like although it sounds cool. But it really is not cool when one of your party members wolfs out and starts tearing into the rest of the party. Especially if they are not equipped to handle it.
Right.
They're not high enough level, or if they're surprised or whatever. But this is an opportunity for the players and the DM to really do some role playing. Like, you really should be doing the thing where your character is waking up in weird places. Maybe naked, maybe covered in blood. Maybe he comes back home, but he has a night full of weird dreams and restless sleep. So you really want it to happen over the course of time, like especially out of the lunar cycle, maybe even so you can start off with like the character exhibiting these weird traits. Like maybe you're a vegetarian elf, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you now crave meat. And you can start implementing little things like that into the game. Be like, where for using that example, like that you're in the marketplace and someone's selling, meat at a stand, and you're like, you really want, you don't know why, but you've never felt this way before.
Your mouth waters as you're walking by. The smell fills your nostrils, and you're having a hard time concentrating on the conversation at hand because the only thing that you can think about is the smell wafting off of this stall. It's like,
I might even make him drop a wisdom check.
Yeah, I was,
and be like, before you even know what's happened, you find yourself before the stand. The vendor asks you how you like it, rare, and in a voice that sounds kind of like gravelly and scratchy even to your own ears and unfamiliar. And the next thing you know, you find yourself enjoying it like
right.
you've never enjoyed anything before in your life. And then give them back their control of their character.
Yep. Yeah, I think that'd be a fantastic way. Going back to what you're saying about it being a curse, until the character actually learns control, it absolutely is 100%. It's a curse. It's a detriment. Bad stuff is going to happen with that character. On scene and off scene. And then it's up to the players. Like, okay, well, clear. The player is going to find out before the character is going to find out.
Right.
So they can say, okay, well, do I want to continue with this character, or do I want, to, play something else? And, if they stick with it, then they got to find a way to gain control. And then, hey, now you've got this boon, this benefit.
Or control, or cure it. Or, maybe there is no gaining control in your game,
That's possible.
Again, this is going to depend on the kind of game that the GM is running and how he perceives lycanthropes in his game. As well as, there's also the difference between a natural lycanthrope and an infected lycanthrope as well.
Yeah.
Where like a natural lycanthrope probably can control it, and they're not really, they may not be ruled by the bloodlust and the cycles of the moon. Where the character who's been affected, he could just be an NPC when he changes,
right?
Like, and you could try and strike that balance, but it'll be tough because again, lycanthrope werewolf lore is generally they want to eat the people they love and they care about most. Like, they tend to go for them first. Like, in the movies, they always do. Anyway. So,
hey, man, I don't feel well. I hate you.
No. Oh, yeah. Thought you were talking about the werewolf. I hate you. No.
We're breaking up today. We're breaking up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I like the curse aspect, and you know what? If you don't like the curse aspect you don't want to deal with that with the players as a DM, then don't have anybody contract lycanthropy. Like, if you don't want to play that type of game, then don't let it happen.
Yeah, as the DM, you have ultimate control over all of that stuff. If you feel that, hey, I don't want to handle or I can't handle this situation, then just take it out of the game.
Don't have them fight it, or it's just,
oh, they didn't contract it. Okay.
Yeah, wow, everybody just rolled really nicely.
You fought a werewolf and you all passed your saves. Yay!
Well, yeah. It's like, there's so many things where the DM lets, like, the randomness rule their game, and then they're unhappy with the result.
Yeah. If you don't want to get a no to the question you're asking, then don't ask the question.
Or you've got the player character who is hunting lycanthropes so that he can become a lycanthrope, and every single time he keeps passing a save. Like, as the DM, you can just, no, you failed. Doesn't matter. No, you rolled 19 on your save. That's a 26. No, you failed. How's that fit? It's totally your game.
And then you throw the lycanthrope that they can't control at them.
Like, you're getting what you might not get what you wanted, but you're getting what you deserve.
So, did we cover it?
I think so. Like, there's definitely some food for thought.
So what do you do in your game? How do you let it happen or not happen? Put it in the comments below. Where you're at it, like, share, even subscribe. Check the articles over at nerdarchy.com.
And while you're there, you can go to Nerdarchy, the store.
So until next time, stay nerdy.